Hi, we're live. Yay. Hello. Welcome to Yarns. I am Heather and I am the owner here of this boutique yarn brand. You might notice that my set looks a little different today. We're in a different location. Well, same room, different place. uh if you've been following along for a few weeks, you might have remembered that we were rearranging my studio because it also includes our Murphy bed. And over the last 4 years, I have become very, let's say, situated in this room. So, my mother-in-law was supposed to come visit, and so we really needed to get the bed available for her stay. But unfortunately, as you can see, like I said last week, she was going to be joining me, but I am by myself today. So that's what brought me up to today's topic of what to do when things don't go as planned. So, sadly, you know, Pauline's flights got canceled, and one thing led to another, and she didn't end up making it to California this week to visit us. So it kind of threw a wrench in our plans. We had to reschedule some stuff, and it just left us all kind of I don't know, discombobulated for the week because we had like ideas of things to do on different days and reservations for this and that sort of thing. So it just led us, we were like, oh, and then we were kind of sad we didn't get to see her and just all that sort of thing. And then it just feels like for me personally that that's kind of how my it just feels like a lot for me for 2024 because again, if you've been following along, my dad got sick and passed away 2 months later. That was 2 months ago. So it's just been I've had a whole year of like lots of little big shifts, changes, things like that. So I just thought that today we could talk about things that you can do when your plans don't happen as you think they should or as you were expecting them to because um it happens, of course. And if you are at all like me where you like things to happen as you expect, I don't want to call myself a control freak. But I do think knitters, especially tent and crocheters, I'm not trying to exclude. I just kind of we're stitchers, and I do think we like things to happen in a certain order, just like our patterns. We're laid out with what the plan should be. And I think that's why many of us knit and sew and bake, and we like things to happen, and we like to know for the most part what the outcome is going to be. So that's what led me to today's topic because I was kind of feeling like every day every day I wake up and I'm like, okay, it wasn't what I thought today was going to be. And then we end up doing all this other stuff. Like I said, we had changed around my studio here, and now that our visitor didn't come, we're like, okay, well, we've changed so much stuff in the studio as it is, let's keep going. So we put up some different lights, we adapted my desk area here. I've like revamped every little corner, and so it's all good stuff, but none of it was according to my plan that was up here. So but like I said, That is okay. At least I tell myself that every day. But, the one thing that has been keeping me constant is knitting. So, at the beginning of the year when, we found out my, dad was sick, I was working on my pop top pullover, and it was a good project because it was all in the round, and I could just sit and knit, and that activity of knitting really, working with your hands and having that tactile feeling coming um, through your fingers, it 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 helps slow all of your other stress emotions. So it brings in the good stress hormones, if you, the endorphins and the dopamine rather than the bad ones. And it just um, helps you process those emotions um, in its like tangible nature. So when I was working on that and traveling, that helped me get through it. And then I designed another little simple scarf a little later in the year. But then there were definitely pockets of time where I kind of leave my knitting, and I can feel myself sort of like uh wonder what's wrong. And then finally it comes up and I'm like, "Oh gosh, I need a project." And so, like I said, I had that pop top pullover, and then I knit a little set of scarves, and then I asked you guys if you wanted to knit the clear skies cowl with me, and a ton of you did. So, while a bunch of you have finished, which is amazing, I am a little behind, but the moral of the story is I am working on it, which is a bonus because that helps. And I am uh, making progress and I'm enjoying it. That was going to be number two. I'm working on it and I'm enjoying it. So, yeah, there is I'm over halfway. So, you know, I think that having a project and remembering to turn to it, and I just dropped some stitches, so that's what I'm looking at over here. There we go. Having a project and remembering to use it to make yourself feel better is, uh, probably one of the best things you can do for yourself. And maybe I'm telling that to you, and maybe I'm telling that to myself this week. Um, nothing's really that bad with my situation that happened this week, but I still feel like I have some, uh, I don't know, tumultuous feelings, but so many things are good too. So, like I said, we're redoing my studio and I'm so excited. And like now my computer desk is on wheels. So I was able to turn and give you a totally different view of my studio space. So that, wow, I've talked for 8 minutes already, and I haven't even said hello. So if you're still here and joining us today, I'd love for you to leave a comment in the chat and tell me where you're tuning in from or what you're knitting. Did you knit a clear skies cowl? Have you finished it? I bet a few of you have. I'm knitting mine in lavender, and I really love it. Super fun, cute little pattern. And yeah. And I'm keeping track of things again. You can see, oh my gosh, look at here in my May. Oh, there were so many days that I was not working on anything. And then I thought to myself, I really need a project. Not only to keep my stitch tracker moving, but for my own health and sanity, I think. So that was May, and we are cruising right along. So you can see I have don't look here. These are my shipping supplies. They're a little they get a little chaotic every day. But yeah, then we have I like to fill these bins with these are all like samples. These are all sweaters here. Various so all knitting projects, nice and organized, projects we can talk about. Here's some other sweaters, hats, so many fun things tucked in here. Yep, same. Here's our blustery beanie, super cute pattern. In here is where I keep my woolly worsted samples. So you can see I'm always talking about these on camera. So I keep a ball of everything just right there. So like I have my ones that are fluffy fingering, and I have my Baba Bulky there, and my woolly worsted here. These are samples from the book I wrote. All in that bin. Oh, we have some baby blankets. Like I said, unfortunately, Pauline couldn't be here, but I do have a bunch of her designs right here, actually. Very pretty blankets. Oh, hi, Sue. Sue. I put my cowl on hold to do a prayer shawl. It's almost finished, so I can get back to the cowl. Perfect. Yes. All right. Well, I'm glad to hear I'm not behind on mine. That's good. I'm happy that like you took some time to work on another project that was meaningful. So yeah, that is what's behind this corner of my office. I've got some books, tons of knitting books, some of my favorites up there. I have my inspiration right here, my colored pencils, photographed by my sister-in-law. And I like to think of my yarn palette as a tray of colored pencils for your creativity. So, you know, when you open a fresh box of like Prismacolor colored pencils and you're like, oh my gosh, what can I make with all of these? And they're all in perfect order. That's how I like to think about my yarn. They're all nice, solid colors. You can mix them, match them, blend them, do whatever you want. And they're colored in every way, so you can make whatever you want. So I keep the colored pencils up here to remind me that is why I started UU. Oh, and Sue is still swatching for the Sporty 45. I feel like the Sporty 45 is going to be kind of a mid to late summer project. I have a few local knitters that want to make it too. And everybody's sort of like talking about it, but nobody's started yet. And I know I want to make one. So I feel like we'll get the Sporty 45 is sometime this year. I agree with you, Sue. So that's great. But I can't wait to see your swatch in your soft sage and sapphire. Because, well, I can't wait to see it. And yeah, you can just, we can figure out your size and, all that fun stuff. So anyway, That's what's going on here at UU. I talked myself parched today. um, yeah, so a little different studio setup for the fun of it. And yeah, maybe we'll do more videos from this corner of the office now that I can move everything around. Everything's like on wheels now. It's pretty exciting. I know I'm excited because I'm the one that lives in here. So, anyway, if oh, it seems brighter. Nice. Thank you. Yes. I do have it is nice and bright from this side. Last week was a little dim. I think I'm gonna have to put some lights if I'm over on that side. Um, Laura Miller looks nice. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Um, so that is what's going on, and that is Heather's happenings from UU Yarns. So if you would like to download a stitch tracker to keep track of your own knitting and crochet habit for 2024, go ahead. We're about halfway through the year, so I thought this was a nice time to kind of reset, and you can see what you do every day through the second half of 2024. And if you are working on the Clear Skies Cowl, I would love to see your project. I will hopefully, I'm going to set myself a goal to have this finished for next week. I think it's been plenty long enough. And I should really just work on it and get it blocked. Wouldn't that be fun? And I have a link to the stitch tracker, and I will put a link to the cowl down below too. So I hope you have a great day. And remember, if things start to get a little stressful, just sit down with your knitting for a few minutes each day and just, you know, concentrate and let your feelings go just with your knitting. And I guarantee it'll feel better because it's making me feel better too. So I hope you have a nice afternoon. I'll see you again next week on Wednesday.